Welcome back to Been There, Watch That. We're your favorite movie TV reviewers. Myself, Justin, and I have Joe with me and Dave. And what episode are we on? This is 27.
Really?
This week is Joe's pick.
27.
Check us out on BeenThereWatchThat.com, and then on social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Just type in BTWT Pod, and you can find content on there. And this is Joe's pick this week, Ocean's 12. His last pick was, you guessed it, Ocean's 11. And he's going to continue this theme maybe all the way up until we review the one from 1960.
I don't know if I want to go that far. So before we get started, Justin, I have one question.
Yeah.
Is there a hate list this week?
You're referring to
last week's episode.
Movie Win-Win, where I pulled up a Word document, thought about it for a little bit, and listed my least favorite characters in order from most hated to least hated.
Yes.
That hate list?
Yes.
Nope. No hate
Okay.
list this time.
Okay, so I'm going to breathe a little bit here. I'm not going to give a full out sigh of relief, but things are looking my way. There's no hate list this week. Dave, what do you think?
I think this is a safe pick either way, so a hate list was not even needed. But yeah.
Yeah, but you kind of bet all in last week on win-win that everything would be...
Yeah, well, I'm edgy like that.
Yeah, who was the...
I've been taking a little bit of...
that topped my list?
From last week?
Yeah, it was that...
yeah.
Bobby Cannavale.
Bobby Cannavale.
Yeah.
Why you got hate on Bobby?
Jeffrey Tambor was a very close second. Hated both of them.
Man.
And for the record, that was Dave's pick.
Haters gonna hate.
Oh, is that what we're going with?
Come on, Justin.
So the gang is back.
Gang is back. Here we
From
go.
Ocean's 12. Got everyone from Ocean's 11 back, and then added a couple.
Yeah. So, a lot of little intricacies in this movie that kind of upped the game from the first one.
Yes.
So, Joe, you want to give us the rundown? Do you have the rundown?
Sure can.
Give us the rundown, man.
So, they pulled off one of the biggest heists ever, and now the crew is back to complete another job. Ocean's 11, which consisted of Danny Ocean, Rusty Ryan, and Linus Caldwell, and others, all thought they were able to enjoy their money, but someone has other plans. Terry Benedict is still fuming after losing his money and wants it back. The team now has the job of getting all the money back that they spent, or risk being thrown in jail. How are they going to get it all back? By pulling off another amazing plan. So
Terry Benedict, tracks them all down.
Yeah.
You thought they were going to get away scot-free at the end of Ocean's 11, and then, not at all.
So if you was a fan of Ocean's 11, or you have not seen Ocean's 11, a lot of the same cast is in Ocean's 12. So give just a short, quick list of that. George Clooney plays Danny Ocean, and George Clooney's been known for Oh Brother Where Art Thou, ER, Batman and Robin, and Roseanne. Brad Pitt plays Rusty Ryan, and he's known for Mr. and Mrs. Smith and Moneyball. Julia Roberts plays Tess Ocean. She's been in Pretty Woman, Erin Brockovich, and My Best Friend's Wedding. Matt Damon plays Linus Caldwell, and he was in Ford vs. Ferrari, which you can find in our archives, Good Will Hunting, and The Martian. Bernie Mac plays Frank Catton, and he's known for The Bernie Mac Show, Guess Who, and Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. And Scott Kane plays Turk Malloy, and he's known for Gone in 60 Seconds and Varsity Blues.
Did you mention Andy Garcia?
No, I did not.
What else has he been in?
Andy Garcia's in a ton of stuff. Yeah,
he plays Terry Benedict,
well renowned for his roles.
He's been in
casino owner who they robbed initially.
He's been in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, Godfather Part 3, The Untouchables.
I think he's a good character. He plays the guy you're supposed to not root for at all.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. And, he's got the stature and kind of the accent for that, and the look, I think.
Yeah, the look's
he was
the key.
well cast.
Yeah, and it's funny that here we are, he's the bad guy. Look, he's the guy that was robbed.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's the victim of this crime, but yet we're sitting here booing him, going, "You're a jerk. You're the bad guy. We hate you." It's like, wait.
Well, hold on. He's the victim, but he shows up in this movie saying, You know, and right off the bat, Julia Roberts, he's like, I want my money back. And she's like, the insurance paid you your money.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I want my money back plus interest. So now he got his business got money from the insurance that covered him.
Right.
And then he wants his money,
Right.
quotes, his money,
Right.
plus interest.
Right.
So
yeah, in this movie, yeah, he kind of takes on the jerk role. In the first movie, he was the victim because he was robbed. But now he's come back to gather what's his.
Can I throw a little gripe out?
yes,
Please.
Remember, Ocean's 11, Ruben has this whole monologue of basically, you don't mess with Terry Benedict.
Yeah,
He
yes,
will
yes.
track you down.
he will kill you and then he'll go to work on you.
Right. And then, I don't know, just the start of this movie, everyone's kind of trying, if they know that they all are able to be tracked down. Like,
Well, I think though part of the
they're trying to live normal lives. Even the Chinese guy that is the acrobat. I mean, he's spending money lavishly, and just seems like he's not keeping the low profile at all.
Yeah.
No one is. Across the board, they show everyone being tracked down by Terry. It just seemed a little bit of a lazy concept.
Well, I mean, you know, yeah, I agree with you.
That it was a little too easy, and they're supposed to know that he's going to track you down. He just tracks everyone down within the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
That's just one problem I have with it.
Well, they were ratted out, so.
Yeah, somebody. But I enjoyed how Julia Roberts kind of gave him the heads up. George Clooney saying, what was it? There's a leak in the basement and the water heater.
The pilot lights out.
Yeah, the pilot lights out. Yeah, it's like, that was just code, and they knew exactly what was going on.
Yep. It's funny. I like the scene in Rusty's hotel where he walks in and it's the actor that he was teaching to play poker in the Ocean's 11.
Yes.
Had trashed the room, shaving cream on the door, crap all over, broke the lamp, TV, and it's like, oh, and the guy's like, it was a woman, and and he's just like, oh, jeez. And then Rusty's the one everybody goes to answer questions and stuff, and he's like the competent one, the main competent person. George Clooney's obviously the main guy, but Rusty's the one all of them turn to in confidence.
Right.
And yet he's the one that's most in debt because of the hotel.
Right.
So he can't handle his money appropriately. He's the worst of all of them. I thought that was pretty ironic as well.
Well, I found it funny, though, that we finally figured out where the term the Ocean's 11 came from.
Yes.
Because it was, and it's one of those, I never thought anything about it. It was Ocean's 11, okay, that's just the name of the movie.
Yeah.
But we find out very quickly that the term Ocean's 11 is because there was 11 of them, and Danny Ocean was in charge, so it's Ocean's 11. It's like, okay. I didn't think I needed to know that information, but I'm glad I do. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
How much did they get out of there with in the first one? Like hundreds of millions of dollars. Right?
Yeah, I think it was 160 million.
Their whole thing was like, on a fight weekend, there's going to be like $500 million there or something.
Well, how much did each of them say they had?
They had to put in 19 or 17. 19 with it was 17 and then 19 million with the interest. So
it was 187 million they walked out with.
Yeah, I thought it was like 160, but yeah, that was what was supposed to be there. Interesting.
Captain Zeta Jones is a new addition.
Yeah.
Kind of the next biggest star that's new on this one.
Yeah, and she played her role very well.
Yes. Yeah. I definitely no gripes with her. I liked her.
It's been a while since I've seen this one, so I kind of forgot like what her character's role was. So I was kind of surprised at the end. It's like, because she's plays this law enforcement agent, and we find out later on that she's not as towing the line as what she perceives to be.
There is another new character that is he the Fox or?
Yeah, the Night Fox.
Didn't love his character.
Yeah, he was a weasel. I mean, but that was kind of his deal. He was an overconfident weasel.
Yeah. Kind of weird, like thing. Oh, let's have a competition to see who the best thief is.
I kind of think that's a play on European, maybe French pride of Americans are always bragging and
Yeah, we've got this.
Yeah, and so he had to take him on.
Because they pull off
And they kind
a
of
little
set
bit
him
of a
up.
heist, but then when they open the safe, he's already
Yeah, I'd already been
stolen
there.
it first. And basically
Outfoxed them.
put a note in there saying, or let them know that he'd already been there. And then,
But I was impressed with all the work they had to do to even make it possible. They had to actually
Yeah.
lift a building.
yeah.
That's just crazy. But I did find this interesting. It said, I found this online, that the foundation poles, watching it, you're going, really? They dug the foundation in the water? They actually did. In Amsterdam, many of the foundation poles are
Yeah, it's kind of
mounted
like Venice
underwater.
And, yeah,
Yeah, and
low water there.
it's been built there, that they've been doing this for centuries. And wooden poles are driven into essentially swampland to stop the poles from rotting. They must be underwater at all times.
Yep.
And when I read that part, I was like, that makes perfect sense because did you guys ever watch the show Axemen?
No.
No.
Okay, it was on History Channel, and they followed these logging companies across the nation, and most of them did actual timber work.
Yeah.
But there were some of these companies that would do underwater logging. And what they would do is they would search these rivers and canals for basically water logs that were so heavy that they actually sunk to the bottom of the river or the canal whenever loggers used to use the rivers as ways to transport the logs to the mill. And there is big money in those, like thousands of dollars just to pull one log up out of the water. And they say when the log goes into the water sinks to the bottom, there's no air to it. So the wood,
The oxidation's what causes the problems?
yeah, yes. So that wood's been, those logs have been down there 100 years or more, and they pull them up, and it's just
Yeah.
as prime as the day they was cut. I mean, there's a little rot, but nothing
yeah,
like,
kind of waterlogged.
yeah.
Huh.
Because once they cut that first layer off, I mean, it's just as pretty as anything you pull right out of the wood, out of the woods.
So I'm curious, and I want to jump straight to this just because I'm curious.
Okay.
What was the best part of the movie for you?
I have mine, Justin. You want to go first?
Oh, I just like you said, the intricacies and the complications and all the things that go.
No. Pick out one scene
Pull
that
off
just
a
made you
heist.
giggle, or one scene that you're like, yes.
No, I just like the whole sequence of their break into that, where they had to like go in with the line and the fingerprint thing and all that. That whole sequence, I like that. Then as the movie went on, I started to tune out a little bit more as it got a little more emotional with
Yeah.
Catherine Zeta-Jones's character and her dad and all that stuff.
See, for once, Justin's the one wanting the explosions.
I know, yeah. It did change. I agree with him. A lot of action up front and then more of a drama story
Yeah, in the middle there.
in the middle, and yeah.
So I like
Joe?
the break in. That's my favorite. So
The one thing for me, and this is just hats off to how well of an actress she is Julia Roberts.
Okay.
So they fly her into England or Rome or wherever they're at,
Yeah.
and she has to, and her role in this movie, in this particular set, she has to play a character that pretends to be her.
Yeah.
So she can't just be herself. She's got to be a woman pretending to be her.
Right.
To me, that's just
Mind-boggling.
Yes. It's like, so I got to play somebody else that's pretending to be me.
Yeah. I got to change my habits. I mean, she is an actress, though. So.
Right. So, but I mean, that it's like an extra.
But that is funny, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a huge curveball.
I'm going to pretend to be myself by myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I have to, all my normal mannerisms, I have to make them over the top, basically
Yep.
making fun of myself on screen.
Yeah.
And the whole banter between her and Bruce Willis is just
Yeah. And that's pretty neat. So mine, I had two.
okay.
One is right at the end where Catherine Zeta-Jones pops in, put your hands,
Yeah.
and scares everybody while they're at their final scene. And then the other one was when Matt Damon asked for more of a leadership role, and he and Brad Pitt and George Clooney meet with, I want to say Tomatsu, but I think I'm getting it wrong. The guy I'm talking about.
In the
They meet-
bar?
meet with him in the bar. And he's like, I'm a traveler of both time and space. And he kind of, Brad Pitt's got one hand covering up his eyes,
Yeah.
and George Clooney's looking at him like, "Are you kidding me?"
You just said that?
Yeah, and and he's just lost in this whole prank of a conversation, but they played it off to a T. And I was just like, that's classic. If you're gonna gag somebody, hit them where,
Yeah, and
Wow.
when they go outside and says, "What did I say?"
What did I say? I don't even know.
Yeah.
And like you're quoting, poetry. Yeah. So I didn't like that they're like, you called his niece, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was like, that's not believable what he said. They'd been like, you just offended him by whatever. So I don't know. I didn't like that part of it, but I really liked when they were in the bar and that went down.
Now I did see. I'm looking it back up. What he actually said was actually. I'm thinking it's a Led Zeppelin song. I think that's what they said last night. Let me look it back up here real quick.
But I liked it when they were guessing Danny Ocean's age. And he's like, you think I'm 48? 52. Virgil's just like 52. Danny's offended because they think he's that old, and in reality, I think he was 42 when he did this.
Yeah,
movie,
42.
so.
Yeah.
But I like it. He's like, you think I'm 48? 52.
Yes. So the words that Linus speaks to Matsui is
Matsui. There we go.
Is the Led Zeppelin song Kashmir. So as Rusty is quick to point out when they step outside, Kashmir.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I didn't either until I seen it last night. He's like, oh, okay.
That's funny. But I like Matt Damon in that role.
Yes.
And he was doing Bourne Supremacy at the time, so he, on one end, he's playing, this tough military spy guy that's, no emotion, and then in this one, he's a kind of not incompetent, but unsure.
Yeah. Doesn't quite get.
Yeah.
Too much.
He wants to be a main player,
Yeah.
but can't quite get there.
And
Linus, and his name's Linus.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like a tough guy.
No.
And actually, I found this interesting that Matt Damon actually almost didn't fully turn down the role, but he asked
tried
him to
back out a little bit.
make him have a lesser character because he just finished up with one of the Bourne movies, and they said no.
Yeah.
Linus plays a pretty big role in this. You're going to have to
Right.
step it up.
At box office, this grossed in the USA $125 million.
Well deserved.
Yeah, and they wanted to do it on the same budget as Ocean's 11. So, Steven Soderbergh and Jerry Weintraub movie, so not too bad.
Did you know that Clint Eastwood was supposed to have made a cameo in this?
Yeah.
They wanted him to be Linus's dad.
Yep. They had Peter Fonda instead.
Yes. And when they was while in production in Rome, Brad Pitt and George Clooney were actually not allowed back in the hotel because the doorman thought they were vagrants. They were out in the rain.
How ironic is that?
Yeah, they was out in a rainstorm jogging.
Yeah.
And came back, and the doorman said, "Nope." And that's actually
You can't hang out here, gentlemen.
That's actually not the first time I've heard of somebody famous not being allowed back to where they stay. The Duck Dynasty guys.
Yeah.
They was actually
Unfortunately, yes.
They was in New York City. They was staying at the Trump Hotel, and one of the brothers went down in the lobby, and they went out, and he went back in and he had to go use the restroom. He said, "Hey, where's the restroom at?" And the doorman says, "It's right here on the third door on the right, going in there." So he goes through that door, and basically, it's the side door to go outside.
Kicked him right out.
Yeah, kicked him right out. So it's like, but I have a room here. No, you don't, buddy. Get on down the street.
Yeah. That one you could see. Somebody could make that mistake.
Yeah, that's what I found, and they thought it was, looking back, it's like, yeah, if I saw some guy, long hair and a beard, and claiming he has a room, I'd done the same thing. He said, I get it.
Yeah.
He said, it's just funny, everybody in America knows us, but this doorman does not, doesn't have a clue who we are. So I guess, throw Brad Pitt, George Clooney into the same mix. Everybody in the world knows them except for that doorman. Yeah, you're George Clooney. Yeah, right. Sure.
Like, who Rick Rubin is? Same sort of look to where you think maybe he's a vagrant. He's like a multi-millionaire.
Well, I think they upped their game a little bit in this feature. They had Topher Grace in there. Eddie Izzard, I thought, did a really good job. Robbie Coltrane. Catherine Zeta-Jones, I thought, added a lot to it. just with that little spin of, her dad was a famous thief and she was out to catch thieves, and that was her thing, what she was really good at. And neat little story. And going to Europe was neat.
And they actually had some, other than what we talked about, the Ocean's 11 title. There's actually another little tidbit of nod to the Ocean's 11. Did you catch it?
I don't know. Which part?
Okay, so the Night Fox's mansion is on the shores of Lake Como in Italy.
Okay.
The name of the city overlooking Lake Como? Bellagio.
Ah, yeah, neat.
So the city and the lake were the inspiration for the design of the casino in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
which is the same casino that they robbed in Ocean's
before
11.
prior. Okay.
I read that last night. Ooh, that's a
Nice.
that's a good one. That's a subtle one that
Yeah.
I didn't catch.
They snuck in there.
Yeah.
Is there anything about this movie? All right, so let me ask you this: do you guys feel like this movie maintained the good qualities that you expect out of a sequel?
Here and there. Hit and miss for me.
Okay, hit and miss.
Mhm.
For the most part, yes. There were it had a little bit of that.
Stretched a little too thin, maybe.
Well,
or
the little bit of that.
redundancy.
The stigma of a sequel, the little a sequel stigma. You get that. It's a sequel. A little bit of that, but it's still pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, did it spice it up for you guys? Like, they had different music. When the Night Fox is doing his dance, they had that little jingle.
That I thought that was a little.
I didn't like
silly.
that. Yeah, there's no way you're dancing through.
Because I mean, it looked
Oh,
like.
yeah,
a
'cause
laser,
I
a
watched
laser
that one.
field.
That's on my list.
Yeah, because I watched it and it's just almost like.
Oh, Justin's got a list.
Ooh, oh. Now,
List of scenes that took it out.
Yeah,
me
I mean,
out
there's
of it
no
for a
way
little
you
bit.
dance through a laser field.
That
but-
was rough.
yeah, that one, and it went on a little longer than what it needed to.
Yeah, I like the music though.
Yeah, the music was good, but it almost, because I watched it for it, it almost looked like there was no possible, because there were some points in
Yeah.
his flips and stuff, like there's no way that laser didn't hit you.
Cut,
Yeah.
yeah, cut 20 seconds out of that, and it could have been alright.
Yeah. I thought the jingle was pretty neat. They kind of gave it like European flavor.
Right.
So it was kind of like it was enough to draw me away from Ocean's 11. There's enough difference, I guess.
Yes.
And that little jingle was part of it.
Yeah.
And the addition of Catherine Zeta-Jones, and I guess maybe just a different setting
Yes.
helped differentiate it.
Right.
Some of the sequels are more of the same, and I felt like this one took a good enough turn to get away from it to not be just watching more of the same.
Right. And it's funny. It's funny how the scripts almost flipped, because the characters that were the main focus in Ocean's 11
Yeah.
almost took a back seat in
Yeah,
Ocean's
it got
12.
played out a little bit. Yeah.
It was like Bernie Mac and George Clooney played huge roles in the first one, but
Yep.
yet they was writ the way that it was written in Ocean's 12, that they
Yeah.
kind of took the back seat, and Julia Roberts and
Yeah.
Matt Damon, and they kind of took the lead.
Yeah, the whole thing where it seemed like Saul wasn't going to be in on the whole thing.
Yeah.
To me, that was kind of a little bit like, yeah, right. I mean, obviously,
Well, I mean, I don't know. I kind of bought his spill in the beginning
yeah.
because,
he's going to be back at some
it
point.
was very reasonable that, hey, I'm old, I'm out.
They kind of pretty much copied and pasted that whole thing from the
Yeah.
first one, too. The
Yeah.
first one, he was like, no, I'm not going to be in, but then he
Yeah.
actually gets...
Yeah,
so it seemed
got
like
roped back in.
a little bit of copy and paste, and they used some similar themes, which is okay, but
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit of like they're redoing certain aspects of it, like you said. They
Yeah.
threw in some new stuff as well.
Well, speaking of that, so Justin, you said one of the more poignant scenes for you was the whole heist of raising the building 4 inches. Was that enough of a change for you to have your own unique appreciation for these heists?
It's kind of cool that it came early on. Didn't have to wait till the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because in Ocean's 11, they're talking about it. It kind of leads
Yeah,
up to that,
it's a huge build up
kinda
to how the
get hit with
heist
it
happens.
early on, and
Well, the Ocean's 11 heists weren't overly technical, where that one was.
yeah.
I mean, I feel like Ocean's 11, they building the fake safe was the key part.
Yeah.
Where in this one, like you said, they had to go under the water. They had to, jack up, cut the foundation out, jack up a building 4 inches. So was that enough of a stretch for you then to like really make that reach to being its own movie, or maybe not?
Yeah, maybe not.
Uh-oh. Sorry, Joe. Well, Joe, what about you? Was it interesting enough doing different heists and being in a different continent that it, made it turn away from the original enough for you to appreciate?
Yes.
Okay.
It was just enough difference because and what I liked about it was just kind of the way it all laid out. We knew they wasn't the first movie. They was robbing money just.
Yeah, because they needed money.
Yeah. This one, they're robbing the money, or they're needing the money to save their lives.
Yeah,
so
they're desperate at this point.
It's kind of complete turn on the reason why they're doing it, and they're not going to rob a bank or rob a casino. It's a completely different story. I mean, it's sprinkled in some of the overlays from the previous story, but it's a completely different setup.
Yeah.
And it's almost a flipped reverse. But like Justin said, you had the whole movie, the first one, and then had the heist at the end. This one, you've got the whole heist at the beginning, and then the story plays out after that.
So this is one thing I didn't appreciate, and it was Julia Roberts. In the first movie, she's super composed, super professional. She's a bigwig at one of the biggest casinos in the world.
Right.
Deals with high rollers, famous people. And then all of a sudden in this movie, she's a bumbling knucklehead when it comes time to play someone famous, and she loses her composure for the most part.
I never gave you that thought.
So
Thanks for ruining it, Dave.
Well, I thought about it because when I was kind of watching it, because again, reviewing movies now makes me more critical.
Yes.
Where if I just watch it for pleasure, I don't pay attention to those things.
Right.
But I watched her character, and I'm like, how is this the same woman that worked at the Bellagio and is an art curator? And it's ultra professional and very staunch, and works with the most powerful people, and these high rollers. But yet here she can't pretend to be an actress that she looks similar to, without just falling apart.
They wrote her as a little more light this time around, more kind of funny and jokey,
ditzy.
With other characters, which I definitely like.
And that's what I mean. I felt like she would have held her composure much better based off her character in the first video.
Maybe it's based off. Because if you think, we really didn't have a lot of interaction with Julia Roberts in the first movie.
No, but every time you did, like say she's around famous people at the Bellagio. She's an art curator.
When she came in, she stole the scene in Ocean's 11.
Yeah, yes.
Her limited scenes were all great.
Yes.
Yeah, she was just professional.
This one's a lot more.
Right, but that's where I'm going with. You saw her in a professional sense. You didn't see her in outside a professional realm.
Yeah.
So maybe she was like that in real life.
Maybe.
But
I didn't buy it though.
They didn't portray it in the. You just saw her in a professional setting.
Yeah, I didn't buy it though. When Linus is pep talking her, I'm like, in the first movie, she just saw through that, smacked him, and said, "Listen, this is how it is."
Okay.
That in my mind.
True.
But anyway.
It seemed like George Clooney's character too. Bumbled a couple times too, and didn't quite seem as
competent.
Yeah, competent in this one as he did.
Well, I gotta ask. You said you didn't have a character hate list, but you had a list.
Well, just that dancing scene. That if there's some sort of
so your list is one thing.
His laser dancing is going to be on there for sure.
I have to talk about this whole list.
Well,
thing.
but from George Clooney's standpoint, the first time it was just for fun. Now his life's on the line, literally.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean,
in the first one he had nothing to lose.
The whole concept at the beginning's on my list too. I mean, just that everyone knows this guy will track you down, and then everyone's suddenly oblivious to that and get tracked down instantly. That was on my list.
Isn't that how it happens though? I mean, we had a guy here in West Virginia win the lottery that was already rich, and he gets caught, in precarious situations with money in his trunk.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of real life. People were bumbling knuckleheads.
Yeah, one.
Ocean's 11, part of the thing is that they're so, elite that they're able to
were they, though? Were they?
A vault that was basically
I mean, you had the brothers that are out in Utah. They're
the
not
hardest
exactly.
vault in the world, and they're able to pull it off, but then they can't lay low. It's just a little disappointing.
It is disappointing. I agree with you, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the lottery winner. Yeah, it won one of the biggest Powerball jackpots in history, and then
gets caught at a strip club with cash in his trunk.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what? Not that he got caught at the strip club, but he had a whole incident at the strip club.
Well,
and
he got robbed. They
got
broke into his
robbed,
car,
and
and
I'm
stole
like,
the briefcase full of money. Now, why would you have a briefcase full of money
at a strip club at 3 in the morning and think that you're not going to get robbed?
Yeah, in Charleston, West Virginia. I mean,
you're getting robbed.
These I mean, nothing against the people of Charleston, but these aren't Vegas showgirls.
Just that at that time of night in that area, you're getting robbed, especially when everybody knows you won the lottery.
Yeah.
I'm sure when he walked in, phone call went out and said, "Hey, I'm breaking this cat's car."
Yeah, because when you go on national TV and your pictures are everywhere.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
what do you guys think of like the tech guy who's always had a bit of a twitch and spazzing out? Do you like him in this one?
Yeah, I felt like he carried through with his character, And I really like this scene where they're like, "Hey, how much do you have left?" And he's like, "I didn't spend any of it." And they're looking at him, and he's like, I live with my parents, And then I really got a chuckle out where he's doing stand-up comedy dressed as a bullfighter, and he comes to Andy Garcia afterwards. He's like, "Hey, thanks for letting me finish the set."
Yeah.
He's like, "You're really funny."
Yeah, I just kind of mind-boggled. Okay, you have millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But you literally not spent a dime of it.
Not a dime, yeah.
I'm telling you right now, guys, if I would have had $17 million, I guarantee I would at least bought one stupid thing that costs like thousands of dollars.
If you gave me a 20 right now, I'd spend 10 on something silly. It doesn't even need to be millions or thousands. So anyway, Joe, when you give me that $20 bill after the show, know that I'm going to spend half of it immediately on something frivolous.
Yeah, Amazon's bad about that. Amazon's the world's worst place of
Amazon will take all your money.
Yeah, Amazon's the world's worst place of I don't know what it is, but I gotta have it kind of deal.
Yeah. That just looks interesting.
Speaking of which, I did need to text somebody. I found something for them that they said they was needing, and it's some random off the wall thing. He's like, "Do you even know if that exists?" I was like, "I don't know, but I'll check." Sure enough.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Our phones are listening to us.
Yes.
I was talking to my mom last night about something for her house. And guess what popped up on her phone 10 minutes later?
Ads for it?
Yep. Anyway, back to the Ocean's 12.
Oh yeah, because
Justin, jeez Louise.
Yeah, because I'm still getting.
The phone's listening.
Yeah.
I'm still getting like on my news feed.
See what you got Joe talking about?
On my news feed, I get new stories about Reservoir Dogs. It's
gosh.
It's like we talked about that months ago.
Yeah.
So if there's new exciting updates on Reservoir Dogs, we need to know.
Yeah. So back to the movie.
Okay.
So Ocean's 12, we got Ocean's 13, you got Ocean's 8. How did this one stack up? And I'm just asking because I almost feel like this movie might have been better than the original in some ways.
But then there's some of them that just cause.
Yeah, and then there other ways not. So I kind of feel like it's in the middle of the road. But
I would have to agree with that.
So is that the general sentiment, Justin? You feel the same way, kind of middle of the road?
Yeah, I couldn't give it the same rating as 11.
Are you asking our ratings now, or
No.
Okay,
I'm just saying, general feel good about how this stacks up because I'm big on sequels. Justin threw out the Mad Max sequels, and I'm like, gosh, the second one was the best one. But it wasn't good.
Rash, ingrown toenail, same thing.
Yeah. And then you look at these where there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
And this is the second one, which I feel like is kind of like the telltale sign of how the rest of them are going to be for the most part. If the second one's good, people will watch the third.
Right.
But if the second one bombs, then the third one doesn't have a chance.
Right.
This obviously went on for 2 more, so it's not bad.
Yeah.
But I feel there's some hesitancy on all of our parts about how good it was.
Yeah.
Just because of some of the misses. Yeah,
because when you hear sequel, you're going, oh. And it's one of those, I'm like everybody else. If there's a good movie and they say there's a sequel, I get excited.
Yeah.
But then I'm going in the back of my mind going, it's a sequel, so there's a good chance it can't be as good as the first.
I would say a great chance. There aren't too many sequels that are good or better as the...
Right.
Yeah. How much time was in between these two? Like 3 years, I think?
Yeah, 2001, 2004.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. A lot of neat little scenes that, kept me giggling.
Yeah. I could be in the minority here, but I would have liked to just not seen it go overseas and try to do something, in Europe, but just do.
I kind of felt like that was a nice little. That was a, in my mind, though, that was a big enough change that it made me interested.
Right.
If they might have stayed in the U.S.
Yeah.
with it, it might have been like,
I can
it's
see
just
either
more
way.
of the same.
Yeah.
Let me throw this at you guys.
Yeah.
A lot of sequels require you to have to watch the first one.
Yes.
Do you think Ocean's 12 can stand on its own without having to watch Ocean's 11?
I think so. Because it's a totally different deal. I mean, it's same characters for the most part, but I don't know you need to have background.
Because I mean, it's one of those. Yeah, we know about the heist of Ocean's 11, but
you don't know the details.
I mean, I think they cover it within the first few minutes of he calls everybody. He's like, "I want my money back with interest." So that right there tells me the whole backstory. Okay, these guys robbed this guy. He's mad.
Yep.
He wants his money back.
Yeah.
So I think this one could stand on its own to where you don't have to lean on the first one too heavily to
It'd be
figure out the
interesting
story.
to talk to someone who saw Ocean's 12 first, and then Ocean's 11 next.
Well, it's one of our viewers out there that haven't seen any of them. You're listening to this on accident. Watch 12 and then watch
try
11
that out.
and let us know.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. I thought it had enough little cute things about it though that were pretty funny. You know, like when Virgil and his brother are at his wedding rehearsal or whatever it was, the dinner. You know, he's talking about getting married, and he thanks everybody but his brother who's down at the far end of the table. You know, cousin George and his wife. You know, his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then he skips his brother. You know.
Yeah, literally covering everybody in the family tree except your brother.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, nah.
So it's kind of one of those deals. I thought, yeah, that's funny. You know, just something that would make you laugh.
Yeah,
And
that was a cringeworthy moment right there.
yeah, and then what was the other one? Oh, Danny Ocean's face when he's in the jewelry store. He's like, I'm casing a jewelry store, and the lady freezes, and he looks at her, you know, talking on the phone. But you know, in reality, that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
But you know, lots of those little moments. That's just little quips that kept me interested.
So I seen where.
I did not like the Frenchman though. I did not like the Night Fox. The more I think about Justin, you're right.
He is kind of.
Well, hold on. Was that
not so much that it's a character you're not supposed to like, but just him.
Yeah, in general.
Someone else could have played a character you're not supposed to like.
You beat me to my question. Was it just him or was it the character?
No, him as an actor, I didn't. I just.
Who is that?
Can I throw a couple scores out at you guys? See what you agree.
Go for it.
Rotten Tomatoes, Ocean's 12, 54%. Harsh or not? What do you think?
I think.
I think it's a little low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Cinema score, B-.
Maybe a B plus on a good day, but.
Entertainment Weekly, one of the 25 worst sequels ever made.
Nah, I wouldn't go.
Don't say
No,
that. I mean, there's a
no,
lot
no.
of bad sequels out there.
No,
that one seems a little
Gosh,
crazy.
a lot of bad sequels.
What in the world? That doesn't even hit the top
they made an
100.
official list and put it on the 25 worst ever.
Yeah,
sequels.
nah.
Yeah, they've never watched Mad Max.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many bad sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, with IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, I was a little surprised how low they were going. You know, talking
Yeah, I mean,
under 60% for both of them.
because I know, Justin, going into it last week, you said that you wasn't a fan of this sequel.
Way back when I saw it.
Yeah.
I
Did this change your view of it any? This
think
time
I was
around?
just a little let down last time I saw it, which was however many years ago, and then kind of the same deal. I didn't change much on my perception of it. I didn't come away with this time saying, "Oh, that was way better than I remember," or way worse. Either one.
Yeah.
Just kind of middle of the road
I'd seen it
for me.
before and kind of middle of the road me too because I was kind of like, yeah. I did notice some more stuff. But
Ways it just kind of felt a little bit copy paste and using a template from the previous one and kind of riding that wave a little bit. It seemed like. I mean, the takeaway for me from the last one, what carried it for me was definitely like we had said before. You kind of can't go too low when you've got such good actors. They're going to be entertaining. It's going to be an entertaining movie. With
Yeah, with that
this
A-list,
power.
my gosh.
But this time around, Julie Roberts, whereas I really liked her before, I kind of cooled down a little bit on her.
Yeah.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, towards the end, I cooled down on her a little bit with some of her dramatic performances when she meets her dad and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone else,
I thought Scott Conn and Casey Affleck did a great job again.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Those two had great chemistry. Basher's always funny.
Like
you know,
they're the ones
Don
that should
Cheadle.
be providing the comedic relief.
Yeah.
So sometimes when they try with some of the other, like with Julie Roberts might have a line that's supposed to give a little bit of comedy, and sometimes it misses the mark a little bit.
Yeah.
But those guys, I'm always chuckling at the stuff they're getting into. And the Night Fox, of course, that's
Let's make a hate list. He's on mine.
He's on there, yeah.
Vincent Castle, not a fan.
So
Maybe it's supposed to be that way, though. Maybe they're like, let's pick somebody that's just going to be despised because he's a despisable character.
But he just comes off as a goober. I mean, he just
He comes off as childish.
yeah.
But, I mean, maybe that's the deal. Maybe he's supposed to.
So okay, so this is different because Ocean's 11, we all agreed that there wouldn't be a single character we'd want changed. But Ocean's 12, we can all agree that the Night Fox, they could literally put anybody else in that role.
Yeah, I feel like he was childish, and they could have put somebody in there that was more sophisticated.
Right.
Yes.
More believable.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
I didn't believe, that he was this.
Do you guys have a thought on who could possibly have been
The hard part is I feel like it needed to be a European, for sure, because that's where the setting was. So, but I'm not very familiar with European.
I just had one pop in my mind. I want to see what you guys think. But Justin, do you have anybody who you think?
No, I don't. Nothing popping up for me.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Okay.
Bill Murray, maybe.
Robin Williams, just to see what would happen.
Robin Williams, Tom Hanks.
Pierce Brosnan.
Maybe. You know, he did really good in the Thomas Crown Affair.
And in the 007 movies.
I would have liked to have seen him in something. At least give it a shot.
But do you think he could have pulled off the Night Fox?
Yeah.
He doesn't seem athletic enough.
He does 007, so I mean.
Well, I'm just thinking that dancing scene. Do you think he would be in?
Take that out. Yeah.
Well,
who's cut that whole scene?
Yeah, but how do we know that the actual actor that played the Night Fox, he was the one actually dancing the whole time?
Well, I just mean Pierce Brosnan doesn't seem like a guy that does yoga and dances like that.
True.
That's the only thing that holds me up. Now he has the sophistication for sure.
Yeah.
Now, Joe, you're the the onboard tech guy. I mean, lasers aren't visible, right? Why in these movies, it's just for theatrical effect that there's lasers shooting around. Really, you could just have a room full of lasers that the bad guys couldn't see, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's
he didn't
like
put
the lasers.
Goggles on, did he? Or am I misremembering?
No, he didn't have goggles on because they look like just lights that was. And there's a lot of different technologies that you could use, but most people use like infrared sensors where you can't see them.
Yeah.
Which would make more sense.
Yeah. But I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but I've never seen like these moving light motion sensor type of things. I've seen everything like stationary and like angled to a point where it doesn't matter how you can hit it, it's gonna go off.
Yeah, I mean, my initial thought was just that's movie garb.
Yeah.
You know, movie garbage. It's in there because you got to be able to see it, so that way you know what he's doing.
Right, but I mean,
it wouldn't be near. I mean, not that it's a great scene anyway. Like you said, Justin, you could have cut. You said 2 minutes. I'm saying cut 5 off. Yeah, cut 5 minutes off that scene, and it's had enough. But you know, you have to see the laser so that you can see him dancing to him.
Right.
It would have been nice if he'd have done like.
Tom Cruise is
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Or with the aerosol can to see where they're at and try to crawl underneath it and do some kind of yoga jump over. I mean that I could believe, but this whole dancing routine with the lights moving, not buying that for a second.
But I mean, Tom Cruise has the athletic ability, I think.
Kinda.
But he
He's
doesn't
more
have
of like
the
a
European
football
type one.
athletic, yeah.
But like in all the, do you watch
Mission Impossible.
Impossible series?
I do not.
Yeah. He's pretty decent in those, but
Yeah.
I don't know if he comes.
I see the body build of the Castle guy,
Mhm.
but just a different, less of a schmuck type character.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, a lot of.
I mean, we've
stuff.
covered a lot of the plot there, a lot of the actors and
Well,
actresses.
Let me pose this question to you guys. Before we grade it, does Ocean's 12 hold enough weight for us to look into Ocean's 13? Or do we just need to kill this series
Is it on
off?
the list?
On what list?
Our next pick's
on our fan submission? I don't
Yeah.
think so. Let me look here.
I mean, if it's not on the
No.
list, then it's automatically out.
Nope, it's not on there.
All right.
And here's why I ask. Because according to Rotten Tomatoes, Ocean's 13 has a higher rating than Ocean's 12.
No way.
Yeah, Ocean's 12 has 54%.
Hold on. What's 13 about? Let me see what 13's about.
I've got the synopsis on it. Danny Ocean and his gang hatch an ambitious plot to revenge after ruthless casino owner Willie Bank double crosses.
Oh, that's right. They bring in Hoo-ah!
Yeah, Al Pacino.
Al Pacino, that's right. Oh man, I feel like Ocean's 13's more silly.
So should we stop
Yes,
at 12?
for now.
Okay.
I don't know. I
I'm-
feel like I'm already halfway there at this point.
Because I'm thinking on my next pick, do I want to finish the series out on 13? Or
Well, if you
I'm
do
kinda
it as your
curious.
pick, yeah, but
Okay.
not as a fan submission.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't even talking fan submission.
Okay.
I was just thinking, overall, do you guys want to sit through another Ocean's movie at some
I could.
point?
They're easy to watch.
Okay. Justin?
Just for a completionist sort of mindset, I'm like, well, we started down this road. I'm kind of interested in.
And see
'Cause
how
I
it
don't
comes.
remember anything about Ocean's 13.
I don't either. I know I liked it, but I can't tell you a second about it.
I'm up for it.
So now I'm torn. Now, do I want to do it, or do I just want to mess with Justin's head now that I know he's got to have a completion of everything?
Well, I mean, it
I
says
was like,
on,
no.
on this review, it says it's the end of the trilogy, but it's slightly below 11, but better than 12. So yeah, I mean, you got a couple weeks before your picks around, Joe,
Okay.
Yeah.
and you are free to pick whatever movie you want.
Well, after we throw our ratings out and then take a look at the fan list,
Yeah,
I'm going
I have a
medium.
feeling the fan list will take a while.
Yeah, it might.
I don't want to be too harsh and say overflowing small or anything like that, so I'm going to go medium on this one.
Yeah, I'm going overflowing medium.
And I'm with Dave. I'm going overflowing medium as
Yeah.
well.
It's easy to watch. It's different enough that it's not the same. You know, the different setting, the different heist, different type of heist. The addition of the new characters I thought was really good,
Except for the Night Fox.
except for the Night Fox.
Okay, let me ask you this: would your guys' ratings have changed any way if they would have picked a different Night Fox?
Maybe, but I doubt it. Just because it was, I mean, you knew what was going to happen. They're going to do a heist.
Yeah.
They got to get it done. It's going to get done. So it's kind of in that template. Like
Yeah,
there
that's
there
about
wasn't
it.
any surprise. There wasn't any, like with win-win at the end. When the guy that's a bumbling lawyer ends up going to the bar and's a bartender.
Right.
That's off template.
Right.
And after seeing a movie like that, to come to a movie that's just following the playbook,
Right.
it's hard to be like, this is just outstanding.
Well,
It's just the playbook.
I do have to admit the gotcha towards the end there when we find out it's Linus's mom that
Yeah,
got him
she's
out there.
the agent.
that
yeah.
that one got me. I was like, ooh, that's
I mean,
a good
it's
one.
the
'Cause
usual heist twist, but
Because
yeah.
that was one I wasn't expecting. Because I was like, okay, yeah, this is
yeah,
it for him. And
yeah, and I do think the jail scene was pretty funny.
yes,
They all walk out.
yeah, I like how they're all sitting in the cell and they go, so how'd it go?
Yeah.
Like, really?
I'm in here with you, you clown.
Yeah. Yeah, it went perfect, flawless, without any issue.
But yeah, so I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's just not great.
Yeah.
So that's why overflowing medium for me. It's one of those again. If I caught it in the middle, the end, the beginning, I could watch it.
Right.
But I would watch it while thinking about something else.
Right.
And I would recommend it to someone if they've never seen it. Be like, yeah, you watch it. Nothing terribly outstanding. No big thoughts coming out of this one. Just neat little movie with some plot twists.
Right.
Good
Yeah.
cast. That'd be the best thing I could say is this is a good, solid cast doing what they do.
Right. And it's one of those. It's an action movie, but
Yeah.
there wasn't any explosions, was there? Yeah, there was one
Yeah.
when Brad Pitt's car blew up.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I thought that was funny too.
yeah.
You're walking out to your favorite car, and and then it blows up. And I thought Brad Pitt's facial expression was funny. He's like, huh. But
I mean, it was you wasn't beat over the head with the actors. You weren't beat over the head with action just
Yeah.
for action's sake. I mean, it played out.
yeah, there wasn't any redundancy. So yeah.
Now I did find it.
Are you trying to talk me into a large, Joe?
No, no,
Okay,
no.
all right, just checking.
No, because I'm overflowing medium. So how can I talk you into a large?
I don't know, Joe. You're capable of amazing things.
So Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
This makes the second movie he's actually played himself in the same movie with Julia Roberts.
Really?
Yes.
What was the first one?
The Player in 1992.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I haven't either. And Bruce Willis's name does not appear among the actors in the credits.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Don't know why, but yeah.
Okay. Well, overflowing mediums and a medium.
Yep.
Ocean's 12. Not a bad pick, Joe. I'll go with the safe pick. Just because Justin likes to live out on the edge. So,
And it backfires sometimes, but
well,
No,
I'm seeing a pattern here. Joe does pretty safe picks done by his data because he's a technology guy.
Yeah.
Justin, you play out in the fringes, and then I kind of go in between.
yeah, it's one of those. Even Michael Jordan didn't hit every 3-pointer, so I
Yeah.
really can't. Justin's method is I can't pinpoint it,
Mhm.
but he's knocks me out of the park. It's really kind of hard to go.
Yeah.
Oh, Justin, you're out. Your setup doesn't work because it
Yeah.
does.
Well, and not because we're competing, but I'm in the lead. Just saying. As far as movie picks. So let's pull out this fan submission because I have a feeling it's going to take a while.
All right, so
We got about 9 minutes.
So please send us your fan submissions, and we have a list of 127 movies to pick from. So let me pull up my
Oh,
number
boy.
generator.
we're going to do a completely random one? Or
Well,
we
do what we did
spitball a
last
little
time. We'll pull it up, and if it's acceptable, we take it. If not,
We'll just go.
unless you have an idea. I don't have the list. I'm not even
I've got the
looking
list
at
right in front of me.
it. But I know, Justin, you have it, and Joe.
So
you
the
got it.
Well,
fir-
I've been looking over it a little bit.
Okay, do you have a pick?
You have an idea?
I've just got some that are intriguing to me. And
Okay,
Throw 'em out.
start throwing.
all right. Two-lane blacktop, 1971. Drag racing through American Southwest in a Chevrolet 150. They cross paths with a hitchhiker.
Well, let me see if I can track it down. Because that plays a role too. If we can.
Lock, stock, two smoking barrels. That's maybe one. It's on the list and one that.
Okay, 2-lane blacktop. Nobody's streaming it. You can't even buy it.
Really?
Yeah.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, man, that's.
I have not
Young
seen.
Frankenstein.
Okay, let me hold on. Shawshank Redemption. Okay, I can. Okay, it's streaming. I can find it.
Robin Hood Man in Tights. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang caught my eye. It's got Robert Downey Jr. That's it. Those are just a couple that caught my eye.
Okay, Young Frankenstein. I cannot track down. Shawshank. I can. What was the other ones, Justin? You said Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes, and then Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Okay. Okay, can't get. No, that's a negatory on Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Well, it says YouTube. It's free. Robin Hood Man in Tights.
Really? Let me look. Because I'm seeing $3.99 on YouTube.
Maybe that's for YouTube. Freaking
Hold on, what are we looking for?
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, jeez. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you can.
Spoof films aren't high on my list.
Yeah,
based
Yeah,
on
but they're
what
Mel Brooks films, though.
You
I
can
mean,
vote down any of these. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Have you seen that one, Dave?
Yes.
2005. Robert
Yeah.
Downey Jr.
okay, yeah, I can't track it down. You got to pay for it.
Well, we could spin the wheel and see what pops up. I'm alright with that.
Spin the wheel, make the deal.
You
I was
mentioned two in the middle. I missed because I was looking up 2-lane blacktop.
Shawshank Redemption is.
Lock, stock, two smoking barrels.
Yeah, I got that one. Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, I think you got them all.
Okay.
Uh,
Spin the wheel and let's just see what happens, just in case. We can always come back to one of those.
Okay, I was gonna say it looks like Shawshank's a good choice.
And
Yeah,
you haven't seen Shawshank, Joe?
No.
But you have, Justin.
Yeah.
Okay, I have as well. It's always a good one. I mean, that is by far an easy, safe pick that
It's a
should
safe
be
one.
a home run,
Okay, so number 126, it is Rear Window.
Rear Window?
Yes. Let me see here.
It would be interesting to watch one that none of us have seen, come
Yeah.
through fresh and see what. Well, this is from 1954. It's a Hitchcock film.
Oh, jeez.
That could be rough.
Spin it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's before 1970, we'll get some problems.
Okay,
Usually.
58. That is The House That Jack Built.
2018 film. That's fairly new.
And I think I can track it down.
Well, this is a horror movie, isn't it?
Looks
Or a
like it.
Serial killer.
Matt Dillon.
Wow, this one had standing ovation at the Kane's response with hundreds of walkouts.
Matt Dillon is a serial killer for whom murder is a work of art in the audacious, masterfully provocative new film from renegade visionary Lars von Trier.
Wow. Sounds like it could be
Gorefest.
edgy. But Matt Dillon, I mean, I could see him in that role. It looks like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the picture looks like he's
Could've
just
pulled it
crazy
off.
enough.
I mean, is there even a streaming option or anything with that one?
I think so. Let's see. Yes, I think I might be able to track it down. Give me just a second here.
I'd never heard of it in my life, so
Me
kind of
either.
intrigued. Given the main lead and
I don't know. Up to you two.
All right. So are you guys up
spin
for
the
a
wheel one more time, just to have another option.
Okay, let me do this. Let me go here.
It's gonna pop up on Fido. It'll be like a feel good versus a serial killer.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Okay.
Oh, Fido's not even. Looks like a zombie movie.
37 Two-Lane Blacktop.
Oh jeez. It's on there twice?
No, Justin, that's
Oh, that's the one you picked out. Okay.
yeah, out of the list. Okay, 113, The Usual Suspects.
Now David brought that one up, and we
Couldn't find
had some
it. Yeah.
trouble finding
Let me
it.
let me look it up. Okay.
It's another Reservoir Dog though.
Yeah.
Well, I liked Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
Hey, and it's on Prime.
Usual Suspects is not bad. Have you seen it, Joe?
No.
Justin?
I don't remember anything about it.
Let's take that one, and you guys will like it. If you like Reservoir Dogs,
Yeah,
that
the
type
other
of
one
deal.
seems a little risky. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that-
seems kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, it's on Prime, so
All right. Tune in.
The Usual
Folks.
Suspects.
Usual
Yeah, because
Suspects.
this was going to be your pick at one point, but
Yeah, it was.
nobody had it. So
Yeah. All right. Usual Suspects it is.
all right.
So for our faithful listeners out there, you can join us next week.
All right. Want to take it home, Joe?
Sure can. So for all of our news and reviews, be sure to visit our website at beentherewatchthat.com. Leave us a comment on if we are hit or miss on our reviews, and send us your list of movies that you'd want us to review, and we'll add it to the playlist. We're on social media at BTWT Pod for all that on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast. Been There, Watch That. We're on all the major podcast platforms, hosted by Anchor.fm.
Okay. So I think another successful week.
I believe so.
So make sure you check out all our stuff and follow along with us. And next week, The Usual Suspects. And we'll be back, and that'll be our fan choice pick. And again, I really like having fan input. So, if you're
Yeah,
out there,
so
you're listening to these
it mixes it up.
podcasts, track down our media, and and throw in some comments. Anything. Throw in some likes, don't likes, agree with us, don't agree with us. Throw in some suggestions. We'll take all of them.
Yeah.
Joe's in charge of that deal, so he'll let us know.
That's right.
And then, so this is fan choice. Then Justin's up. Justin, do you already have your own pick?
Nope.
I like it.
Do you have an idea of what direction you're going to go?
I'm guessing no.
Well, there's a documentary I want to see, but I don't know if you guys would be into that on mushrooms. But I don't know,
documentary on mushrooms.
Yeah, that seems a little.
I watched it. It's funny because I watched a documentary the other night, not about mushrooms, but it's one of those. Dave and I have a lot of conversations off air about just certain topics, and we usually have opposing views. And it's one I would love to hear what your guys' is.
That's not true. My view's correct, and yours is not. That's not opposing.
Nah, I don't know about that.
It's just effective.
But it's a movie. It's a documentary about two people with completely two different views on life, but have the same opinion about this topic. And I would love to hear your guys' input on it.
Okay. Well.
So.
I won't pick Robin Hood Man Tights. I won't do that to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yep, no problem.
I've not seen that one. That's one. But now, if you went with Spaceballs or Blazing Saddles, I'd be on board on that.
Okay. All right. Well, another week in the books. Been there, watch that. Thank you for joining in, and we'll be back next week and follow along with us, usual suspects. And then after that, it'll be Justin's pick, and then we'll keep on rolling along. How many did you say? 27? Is that right?
Yep. Next week will be episode 28, I believe.
Wow. Does not seem like 27 in the books, but hey, we're there, and we appreciate everybody joining in again. And get involved as a fan, and we like it. So we look forward to your comments and responses and challenges. Yeah, that's what this is about.
Great.
All right, still having fun watching movies. So for myself, Joe, and Justin, we'll be back next week. Been there, watch that. Thanks for joining us.
See you then.